The rain was pouring down hard that night. A scared young woman stood outside a stranger's door, completely soaked, her hands shaking as she held her phone. She had nowhere else to go, and no one left to trust. But when the door opened, the man standing there wasn't who she expected. What happened next would change both of their lives forever. Because sometimes, the people we fear the most are the ones who end up saving us. The rain came down in heavy sheets, crashing against the wooden porch like tiny drums beating in the night. Emily Carter stood outside a small house at the edge of town, her clothes completely soaked, her hair clinging to her face. Her fingers trembled as she held her phone tightly, the screen glowing dimly in the darkness. She hesitated before knocking. Her heart pounded so loudly she thought it might wake the entire neighborhood. But she had no choice. She raised her hand and knocked on the door. Once, twice. A few seconds passed. Then the door slowly opened. Standing in the doorway was a tall black man with strong shoulders and tired eyes. His name was Marcus Johnson. He looked surprised to see someone standing outside in the storm. Emily froze. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Marcus noticed her shaking hands, the fear in her eyes, and the rain dripping from her jacket. "You okay?" he asked gently. Emily swallowed, trying to find her voice. I'm sorry to bother you," she said quietly. "My car broke down the road, and my phone battery is dying. I didn't know where else to go." Marcus glanced down the dark road behind her. There were no streetlights, no other houses nearby, just rain and silence. "You've been standing out here in this weather?" he asked. She nodded. Marcus stepped aside and opened the door wider. "Come in before you catch pneumonia." Emily hesitated. She had grown up hearing warnings about strangers, about danger, about trusting the wrong people. But something about Marcus's voice didn't feel threatening. It felt kind. Slowly, she stepped inside. The house was small but warm. A soft yellow lamp lit the living room. A couch sat near the window, and a few children's drawings were taped to the wall. Emily noticed them immediately. Crayon drawings of stick figures holding hands. A man, and a little girl. Marcus noticed her looking. "My daughter," he said with a small smile. "She's staying with my sister tonight." Emily relaxed slightly. Marcus handed her a dry towel. "You can sit down," he said. "I'll make some tea." She sat on the couch, wrapping the towel around her shoulders. Her heart was still racing. Marcus returned a few minutes later with a steaming mug. "Here, thank you," Emily said. She held the cup carefully, letting the warmth spread through her fingers. For a few minutes, they sat quietly while the rain continued outside. Finally Marcus asked, "What happened to your car?" Emily sighed. "It just stopped working. I tried calling roadside assistance, but my phone's about to die." Marcus nodded. "I can take a look at it after the rain slows down." Emily blinked in surprise. "You'd do that?" "Of course." But as the silence returned, Marcus noticed something. Emily wasn't just cold. She looked scared. Really scared. "Something else going on?" he asked gently. Emily stared at the tea in her hands. Then tears slowly filled her eyes. "I left my boyfriend tonight," she said quietly. Marcus didn't interrupt. "He wasn't a good person," she continued. "I should have left a long time ago." The words trembled out of her mouth like they had been trapped there for years. "He got angry tonight. Really angry. I grabbed my keys and drove away without thinking." Her voice cracked. "I just kept driving." Marcus leaned back in his chair, listening. "And now?" he asked softly. Emily wiped her eyes. "Now I have no idea what I'm doing." Marcus understood that feeling. 5 years earlier, his life had fallen apart too. His wife had passed away suddenly from an illness. He had been left alone to raise their daughter, Maya. For months, he had felt completely lost. But somehow, life kept moving. And eventually, he found strength he didn't know he had. Marcus looked at Emily. "You did the right thing," he said. She looked up. "Leaving someone who hurts you is never wrong." Emily let out a shaky breath. No one had ever said those words to her before. An hour later, the rain finally slowed. Marcus grabbed a flashlight and a jacket. "Let's go see that car." Emily followed him outside. The air was cool and quiet now. They walked down the road until they reached her car. Marcus opened the hood and examined the engine. Emily watched nervously. After a few minutes, Marcus smiled. Good news. Her eyes widened. It's just the battery. You're serious? Yeah, he laughed. Give me 10 minutes. Marcus returned to his house and grabbed jumper cables. Soon the car engine roared back to life. Emily couldn't believe it. You're a lifesaver, she said. Marcus shrugged. Just helping someone who needed it. Emily stood there for a moment. Then she looked at Marcus seriously. You know, I almost didn't knock on your door. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Why not? She hesitated. Because I was scared. Marcus understood. He had seen that look many times before. Fear built from assumptions, from stereotypes, from things people were taught growing up. But tonight, that fear had changed. Emily smiled slightly. I'm really glad I did. Marcus smiled back. Me too. Emily got into her car and started the engine. But before she drove away, she rolled down the window. Hey Marcus. Yeah, if you hadn't opened that door tonight, I don't know what I would have done. Marcus nodded. Sometimes all someone needs is one person willing to help. Emily waved goodbye and drove into the quiet night. 6 months later, Marcus was fixing a broken fence in his yard when a car pulled into the driveway. He looked up. Emily stepped out, but this time, she looked completely different. Confident, happy, stronger. I thought that was you, Marcus said with a grin. Emily laughed. I moved to this town. Marcus raised his eyebrows. You're kidding. Nope. She smiled. Got a new job, new apartment, new life. Marcus leaned on the fence. That's amazing. Emily held up a small box. I brought something for you. Marcus opened it. Inside was a framed drawing. It showed 3 stick figures holding hands. A man, a little girl, and a woman standing beside them. Marcus's eyes widened. My daughter drew this, he asked. Emily nodded. I ran into Maya at the park last week. She told me all about you. Marcus laughed. That sounds like her. Emily looked at him seriously. You helped me more than you know that night. Marcus shook his head. You helped yourself. Emily smiled. Maybe. But you opened the door. Sometimes the smallest moments in life become the ones that change everything. A knock on a door. A stranger offering help. A little kindness in the middle of a storm. Because you never truly know how much your actions might mean to someone else. Service app she tried had failed because there was no signal. She looked back down the empty road. No cars, no people, just the sound of rain hitting the pavement. Her heart raced as she stared at the small porch in front of her. The house looked simple but well kept. A warm yellow light glowed through the window. Someone was home. Emily hesitated. Her mind warned her not to trust strangers. Her mother had always told her that knocking on someone's door at night was dangerous. But standing in the cold rain felt even worse. Finally, she lifted her trembling hand and knocked. The sound echoed through the quiet night. For a moment, nothing happened. Then she heard footsteps approaching. The door slowly opened. Standing in the doorway was a tall man with broad shoulders and a calm but serious face. He looked surprised to see someone standing outside in the storm. Are you okay? He asked. His voice was deep but gentle. Emily swallowed nervously. I'm really sorry to bother you. My car broke down the road, and my phone is dying. I didn't know where else to go. The man looked past her into the dark street. Rainwater dripped from her hair and jacket. You've been standing out here in this weather? He asked. She nodded. Without hesitation, he stepped aside and opened the door wider. You should come inside before you freeze. Emily hesitated for a second. But the warmth inside the house felt inviting. Slowly, she stepped inside. The living room was small but cozy. A couch sat near the wall, and a lamp cast a warm glow across the room. There were children's drawings taped to the refrigerator in the nearby kitchen. The man closed the door behind her. I'm Marcus, he said. Emily, she replied softly. Marcus handed her a towel from a nearby chair. Here, dry off a little. Thank you. She wiped the rain from her face while Marcus walked into the kitchen. A few minutes later, he returned with a mug of hot tea. Emily wrapped both hands around the mug, feeling the warmth spread through her cold fingers. Outside, the rain continued to fall heavily. Marcus sat across from her. So, he said kindly, what happened to your car? It just died, Emily explained. I tried calling for help but the signal is terrible. Marcus nodded. I can take a look at it when the rain slows down. Emily blinked in surprise. You'd do that? Of course. His answer was simple, like helping someone was the most normal thing in